That was Narnia, the battle sequence theme. Love that tune. And you're listening to Manigan's Movie Music live on Love the Beat Radio with me, of course, Reese Manigan. Okay, let's get the elephant out of the, what's it called? Talk about the elephant in the room, whatever the name is. So, has anyone seen recently the new Ice Age 6 teaser trailer? I cannot believe that they parodied Jackass in their teaser trailer. I've got to say, it's quite an interesting comeback because the Ice Age films are a very mixed bag for me. I do love the first four, but the last one, the fifth one, I hated. But now that Disney own the franchise and they've sort of come out with a bang, maybe this is a sign that they're really going to start refreshing the franchise. But if you haven't seen the trailer for Ice Age 6, you need to give it a watch, because I just was like, okay, fair enough. It's won me over a little bit. And it's also great to see that Scrat and his son are going to come back into this film. So it's good to know that the Scrat tells were Ice Age canon. But if you haven't seen it, definitely give it a watch after the show, because my God, I loved that they actually parodied an adult film. And the kids won't get it, but we're like, we know what's going on here. So I quite like that. It kind of won me over. Anyway, we'll talk more about that later. But now I'm going to introduce a very, very special guest of mine. She was in BBC's series The Traitors. She's going to talk about that definitely. And I'm sure there's other stuff as well we'll be talking about. And it's going to be a laugh out loud riot. I've met this woman only once, and she is incredible. She's funny. She's lovely. And I'm so happy she's here today and giving me her time to be on the show. Please welcome the incredible Ash Bibi.
That was me trying to make it sound like I've got a massive audience behind me. I don't know if it worked.
She's amazing! Oh my God, she's in the room! I know, everyone calm down.
Thank you for having me here. And can I tell you, I'm really excited that I'm here for the whole of your show.
I'm glad you're here for the whole of the show as well.
That doesn't normally happen when I do radio. You come on for 10 minutes and then you leave.
Oh, no.
So, I love this.
For most guests, I mean, look, if you've got busy plans, fair enough, but at least stay for an hour or something. You make the journey to come all the way down here. But no, the real idea is for you guys to stay for 2 hours, of course.
Fabulous.
But absolutely, you can't make all the way down to this journey and just be like, oh, yeah, I've only got half an hour.
Go.
Yeah, no. But I mean, trust me, a couple of guests have done that in the past without notifying me. No names named, but that actually annoys me, because I think if you don't want to come on the show, just don't come. Don't waste your time and effort. Come in here if you don't want to come on. But if you want to come on, stay for the 2 hours. It's a laugh.
It's fun.
My show's not boring, guys. Come on, it's me, for goodness sake. I mean, look, I know I'm not Chris Moyles, but I can try to be. You know what I mean? Or I can be better.
Mate, Reese, you are anything but boring.
Thank you. Okay, right. Let's not make it about me. Today is about you, because you are the guest today.
Okay.
So that's why I like to. Even though I'm the host, I don't like to brag about me. When a guest comes on, this is about you. So let's talk about you. First of all, Ash, how are you today? She's already laughing.
I'm all right. I've had my about 3 cups of coffee, so I'm really, really good.
Good. I've got 1 large coffee and I'm already perked up, so I'm good already.
Yeah. Oh.
Lovely jubbly. Okay, I'm glad you're well and I'm glad you're good. As I said, thank you so much for coming on. It's a pleasure to have you. For the video, she has got a lovely, colourful outfit on today, pink and green.
Yeah.
Kind of, Wicked.
Oh.
Wicked theme. There you go.
It is so giving Wicked. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, pink and green.
Yes.
She's got Ariana Grande and witch vibes. There you go. Although it's not Halloween yet, halfway there.
But I wanted to go in with the movie theme. Do you know what I mean?
There you go. And do you know what? I wore a movie shirt last week and I didn't wear one today, but I've got a little penguin on here. So what, Happy Feet or March of the Penguins, shall we say? Yeah, let's just go for that. Yeah, Batman. Yeah, Danny DeVito. There you go. I'm going to kill that bat. Okay, right. So Ash, as I said, wonderful to have you here. Thank you for being on the show. So as everybody knows you was on the BBC series The Traitors.
Yes.
Which I will admit, I never really got into, I'm afraid.
You didn't even, you haven't even watched it
I haven't
yet.
had time for the past couple of weeks. Look, I've had a very crazy couple of weeks, okay, believe me. I've had my own stuff to sort out. Although I would have maybe watched one episode, honestly, my life has been so crazy.
That's okay.
But anyway,
I'll let you off then.
Yeah, I'll try and watch it maybe after sometime,
yeah.
and I'll give you my feedback.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's not about me. As I said, the fans of the show will know who you are.
Right, okay.
So that's the main thing.
Yeah.
But before we get into the whole traitors and how you got into it, because I'm sure you've probably heard about it a million times, let's go back to the very beginning of like what you've always wanted to do. So has your path always wanted to be in TV?
Actually, when I was a young person,
Person?
I was like a youngster.
When she was like a little lamb.
When I was a little lamb. So when I was a kid, there were two things I always wanted to do. And as far as I remember, I always wanted this. I wanted to be a hairdresser and I wanted to be an actor.
Right.
Right? And so I did train as a hairdresser. I didn't like it, so I left.
Too hairy.
Yeah. So actually, I always wanted to be an actor. I did do some training. I lived in New York City in my 20s for 5 years. And I did do some training at a very, very good school called HB Studio. You might have heard of it, Herbert Berghoff, Uta Hagen. I had some amazing teachers, the very brilliant late Mark Bloom, he's a great actor, as well as Austin Pendleton. So I was very lucky. And then when I came back to the UK, I took classes here and there, and I just thought to myself, I'm not going to be able to go down this road because it's not a viable career path for me.
Yeah.
But I think Traitors changed that a little bit, and it made me see it in a different way.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
And so you said you wanted to be an actress. Was there anything in the past that you went to go for, like any TV shows before Traitors, or
No.
any auditions?
No. No. Actually, when I was in New York, I did do a couple of like short films with people that I know.
Okay, so you did have the work before then. You did like do a few experiences.
Yeah. But that was like many years ago. You know?
Yeah. But you had your little taste of it. That's what I mean. Like you had a taste of being on set, working with a crew, getting some acting. Yeah.
That was, and I know we've spoken about this before, but there's something so magical about being on a film set. It makes you feel alive. It makes me feel at home. And the last time I was on a set and I thought, I feel like I'm in the right place. You know what I mean? So that's when you know that that's something for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Okay, awesome. So you said about being in New York and everything. Did you ever try LA or anything like that?
No, I never made it to the West Coast. No, because you know what? To me, it was, and especially I think a lot of, if anybody who's lived in New York or been to New York will understand this, I think New York actors, East Coast actors are very much about the craft, and LA seems very much about
the money.
And the fame.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I think East Coast is very much like,
Yeah. So basically, you're saying New York is more mature than LA, definitely. I mean, yeah.
I wouldn't say that. It's just a different vibe, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know? Because New York, in also a bit like London, has a very big theatre scene.
It does.
So it's a different type of acting. So
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Fair enough. And so then obviously you came into the UK, and then obviously so when you came to the UK, did you pursue any acting from there on?
You know what? I took classes here and there, and something, and I'm sure that some of your listeners might also relate to this.
Who's listening?
I think sometimes we feel we don't trust ourselves. We don't believe in ourselves. And I used to occasionally just keep taking beginners acting classes, and every time I was in these classes I thought to myself, I shouldn't be in here. This isn't, I knew I was way ahead of those people, but I just never pursued it because I just thought, I've got rent to pay, I've got to have a job, I don't have anybody to look after me, I need to look after myself. So I just never pursued it. And then kind of Traitors happened accidentally.
Okay, so where was the accident?
Well, I didn't.
Or what was the accident?
Well, because like when I applied for the show, I didn't apply with the intention of actually going on the show. I know
that's happened quite. It's like people say, "Oh, I dare to go on Britain's Got Talent," and they actually get on it, and they're like, "Oh, what do I do?"
Yeah, I just thought it'd be funny to like apply.
Do you know? It's so funny you say that because a bit of film fact. You know The Shining?
Yeah.
When the little boy who's in the film, his parents sent the audition thing. Well, no, he didn't audition, but they sent something to say, "Oh yeah, our son wants to do The Shining." They were like, "It ain't gonna happen. It's only a lot." Next thing, I got the phone call saying, "Oh yeah, we want to see your son." They were like, "Oh." And then they were
crazy.
like, okay, and then he ended up getting the role.
I did not know
Yeah.
that story.
So you saying that just reminded me of that story of, oh yeah, we'll just see if it works, ha ha. And then next thing you know, you got the phone call. You're like, oh, what do I
was
do
like,
now?
oh, what's going on? And actually, even when I got the call, I kind of had this feeling because the call came on my actual birthday.
Oh, happy birthday to you! Yeah.
And I was
I think you were like, what a birthday that was.
And I was a couple of wines in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I can talk for England at the best of times, but when I've got a couple of wines down me, like, you can't shut me up.
Good thing we have no alcohol on the show today. Because if we did, this would be a late one.
Yeah, it would be a very late one.
5 hours of chat. How do I get into Traitors? Well, it was by accident. It was on my birthday. And I want some more rosé.
And the thing is, Reese, because you haven't even watched my season, you don't understand the joke that you just made about the rosé.
I will now.
How relevant it is to our series.
What, did you get drunk on it?
The
then?
fizzy rosé. No, I'm not going to tell you anything because I'm going to wait till you
I will.
watch the show.
I will check it out. Absolutely, I will. I look, hand on heart. When I've got time, I will 100% let you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you finally got the call and you're going to be on, so what was your reaction from day one, like when it all began? Like, what was your thoughts ago? Was you nervous? Was you excited? Was you thinking, well, this is...
Yeah, to be honest, I genuinely, I never thought that they were actually ever going to pick me. I just thought, this person is a lovely person, the guy who casted me. I just get on with him really, really well. And so for me, it was like, what a great chap. What a great chap. Great guy. Like, you know. And so, I mean, as the callbacks came and then I was speaking to producers, again, I think I was just easygoing about it.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, when you don't overthink things, you can just be your natural self.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's what was happening, basically.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't care. I was like, And then when I got the call to say that I was on Traitors, I was like, okay, great, thanks, bye. And then when I put the phone down, then I cried. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be on the Traitors.
Nice, excellent. And the whole experience of being on that show, I mean, has it made you think anything differently about being on TV or being on the set or anything? Like, what was your thoughts about after the whole experience was done?
Again, I love being on a set, but I mean, this is a different kind of set, isn't it? It's not like a movie set.
But did the experience make you rethink about anything, or did you feel more confident in yourself, or?
You know, it's really interesting because at first I didn't feel. I think I've always been quite a confident person.
Yeah.
Up until I did Traitors, and then I realised. I kind of like my confidence did take a little bit of a beating for like a year and a half, and then I had to just get out of my head.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking, what are you doing, woman? What is wrong with you? Get with it.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, and I think as soon as I kind of just calm down about it, like I can just be myself again.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes you get imposter syndrome, don't you? And you know, when you're put into these spaces, listen, I had my very first movie premiere ever just after the show had aired. My good friend Faye Greaves, who's on Traitors season 1, she took me and we went to go see One Love.
Okay.
And like, listen, I'm in a space with the Marleys. I'm in a space where I met Idris Elba.
Nice.
So you can imagine, and I'm just like thinking, what is going on?
Yeah.
You know, your head is just like messing.
I know what you mean, because this year, along with you, I have had some very exciting guests.
Yeah.
So, for example, Ben Whitehead, who voices Wallace. I mean, because as a Wallace and Gromit fanatic, do you know any idea of getting him on the show was kind of like almost giving me a heart attack in terms of like, he said, yes, this is actually going to happen. It's true. And I'm not going to lie, the day he was coming on, I was sweating like a pig. Really? Because I thought, is this going to work? Is it going to be? But honestly, meeting him, having him on the show, seeing what he's really like, I thought, me and him are going to get on really well. And we did. And now we're in touch.
Yeah.
And so it's weird to say now that if I watch Wallace and Gromit Vengeance Most Fun, I'll be like, do you know, I know that guy now. I've got his email, we talk. You know, it's really strange now. But it's good strange. Because I remember I said to him, and he said to me, look, it's a good thing that you did, because I said to him, if I saw you on that tube and I didn't say hello, I would have been hitting my head every day.
Yeah.
But he did say to me, look, you can approach me, it's fine.
Yeah.
He said, I'm just surprised you recognise me. I said, mate, I'm a Wallace and Gromit fan. I watch interviews all the time.
Yeah.
Nick Park, you know, but you, whatever. I said, I do my homework.
Yeah.
I said, I'm always on YouTube going, right, where are they? Where are they?
Yeah.
And I do. And said, so how was I not going to recognise you? He said, the only thing I didn't recognise you, he said, you've missing some hair on your head. I said, did you have a haircut? He went, no, I'm just getting old.
I love that.
Yeah.
But you know, that's a really good point that you make though, Reese, because I think sometimes people are afraid to take a risk or make a move.
Yeah, because with me now, I'm more confident.
Yeah.
Like with me, I want to grab that opportunity.
I
Do you know what I've
can't
been
imagine
doing?
you not being confident, Reese.
Oh, trust me, if you'd met me years ago,
Yeah.
it maybe about 15, 20 years ago, it would not have happened, trust me.
Yeah.
But now, what I'm doing is I'm even emailing agents asking for some celebrity guests.
No.
Like, that's how far I'm going.
Why not?
Yeah.
You don't ask, you don't get.
Exactly.
Do ya?
But I've been close.
Yeah.
I've been close.
Yeah.
And there are some potential faces that might be coming on in the future. I don't want to confirm anything yet, but there might be some talks of some famous faces coming on, hopefully. But touch wood, touch wood. It's 50-50 at the moment, but it's looking goodish.
You know what, Reese? It's going to happen. It will happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. 2026 has definitely been the year for Manigan's movie music,
Yeah.
100%. Right, so after the experience of Traitors and the film premieres now, I can see now you are dying to get into some film work.
Yeah.
Obviously, me and you are going to be working together, which I cannot wait. But do you have anything at the lineup at the moment you can tell us? Anything you can tease or any talks at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, there's potential.
Just like with me then, potentials. I mean, if you can't say, it's fine.
There's my friend, very good friend, Sophie Carl, who's a brilliant actress and a great producer. And she's making a musical. It's called Star Child.
Ooh.
I mean, I am on IMDb for that, so I guess I can talk about it.
Yeah.
So just FYI, I cannot sing, okay?
Okay.
I won't be singing. Just don't worry about it.
Don't worry, you don't have to sing on this show.
Nope,
It's not that kind of radio show.
Nope, I won't be singing. But I do have a small part in that. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to working with you because, you know, I read that script the other day.
Yes,
and
bubblegum.
as soon as I saw that, when I read that part that I wanted to do, I was like, yes.
That's going to be the next film festival project as well.
Cannot wait.
Well, I mean, my next one is broadcast to Brighton, but that one is going to be the future one, definitely, Bubblegum, which I've had the script for like nearly 2 years now, and now I'm so excited to really dig my teeth into it.
Love
because it's about, and the reason it's called Bubblegum is because it's about characters being put in sticky situations.
Yeah.
That's why it's called Bubblegum.
Yeah.
Because someone said to me, is it about high school girls? And I went, what do you mean? Well, when I think of Bubblegum, I think of American girls going, alright. And I'm like, no. And plus, if I wanted to make a film about high school girls, it'd be called High School Girls or Brats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, no, it's not. No, it's nothing to do with that. I don't know why someone said that to me, but I was like, you really literally took the page out of the book there. It's like saying, I've made a film called The Lion and the Duck. Is it about a lion and the duck? No. It's not about that.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. It's so funny when people do...
Bubblegum is just like, it's a catchy name, you know, and you're not going to forget that, are you?
No. That's why, yeah.
I'm usually really rubbish at remembering movie names, but that's a movie name I'm not
Do you
forget.
know, saying that, there are some puns on some titles I have done in the past, right, which my wife sort of face palms me and goes, yes, dear. So I made a short film once, and it was a comedy with me and my best mate, and we called it Ring a Tin Tin. And it's about a guy trying to get a tin of salmon for his missus, but my character's got the last one, and he's still fighting over it.
Oh my goodness.
And then there was another one we done about a tramp who wants some money, but the guy's a cannibal and he wants to be a vegetarian, so he doesn't want to eat the homeless guy, and it's called I Must Leave Fitch Alone. And then just yesterday, I've come up with a horror short, which I'm going to film one day soon, because there's a goat man statue in Chingford Hill.
Right.
And I was like, right, here's my next horror film. The Ghost Goat of Buckinlin.
So Chingford Hill, that's up my way.
Yeah.
Oh, how have I never seen that?
Yeah, it's by the pathway, the walk, and there's a big statue on top of the tunnel.
Okay, I'm going to need to go check that out.
Yeah, I'm going to do a found footage. Well, not found footage. I'm going to do a horror film there.
Amazing.
And it's called the Ghost Goat of Buckingham, of Bucklin, because a small goat's a Bucklin.
Okay.
So, but that's the town name, Bucklin.
Okay, I
the
love
Ghost
that.
Goat of Bucklin.
I love your wacky, like your wacky names and your wacky ideas.
Because it's the comedy of that, you know. And one of the best lines I love is when he says, "It's a documentary, guys. That's why I have to document everything. Hence why it's called a documentary. Look up in the dictionary." Anyway, moving on. Anyway, Ash, I gotta say, it's lovely to have you on. The positive vibes are great, and I knew we was gonna laugh from the moment. Yeah. But as you know, you are on Manigan's movie music.
Yes.
So now I'm gonna throw in the Manigan movie music questions to you.
Yes.
Don't worry, these are just very simple questions. You don't have to answer them. They're not trivias or anything.
Okay.
This is about you. So first of all, I probably know this answer anyway, but you are obviously a film fan, correct?
I am a film fan, yeah.
Amazing. So, what is your favourite genre of film?
Ooh, I'm like a thriller kind of girl.
Nice.
Yeah, thriller, action. I'm possibly unusual. I don't do rom-com, really.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Thriller.
I mean, the only chick flick I like is Chicken Run. You know.
You and your dad jokes, Reese.
Yeah, but actually, it says on the tagline, "This ain't no chick flick." So when people say, "What's your favourite chick flick?" I go, "Chicken Run."
I love it.
Anyway, so that's great. Thriller. So, any top 3 thrillers that come to your mind? I mean, they don't have to be like your biggest favourites, but is there ones that stick out for you?
I mean, okay, I say thriller. I like drama, so
Okay.
I think one of my favourite movies, I would have to say, and I think many people would agree, is Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, that's my 3rd favourite movie of all
Yeah.
time.
And I just think it's a classic.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, Anthony Hopkins. Oh my goodness. You know, and if you've ever read the book, I think the movie was better than the book.
Yeah.
And the book
I
was
agree.
good.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Because I did read the book.
Yeah.
I mean, God, it's just incredible. And Anthony Hopkins, I mean, he steals the show. Even though he's only in it for like 15 minutes, he's just mesmerising.
Yeah.
But I love that movie for many reasons. For one thing, the story is incredible. I love the villains. Jodie Foster is absolutely incredible.
Oh.
Such a powerful feminist character. And it's just the editing as well is incredible, and the suspense.
Yeah.
I mean, the Hannibal Lecter's escape though is my favourite scene.
Oh.
And the police are in the elevator, and they think he's up there.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh my God, I remember when I first watched
and he's
it.
wearing the mask, but
Yeah,
actually
it's
it's on somebody else.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Incredible stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so Silence of the Lambs, that's one of them. Any other ones?
Well, you know what? I'm one of these people. I think there's so many great movies out there that, like, I think it's really hard to choose. Like, do you know what I mean?
For me, I do have a top 5.
Do
though.
you?
I do.
Okay.
So
Yes, I want to know what your top 5 is.
Okay, but I'm going to go from bottom to top. Yeah?
Okay, let's do
So
that.
number 5
Yeah.
is Jaws.
Oh yes! Oh my God, I love Jaws. Yes.
So definitely Jaws. Oh, absolutely. We could go on for that theme for ages.
Yes.
So Jaws number 5.
Yes.
Number 4 is a very underrated gem of a film, which people don't watch, and I'm so shocked they haven't. But it's such a gem of a movie. Thoroughbreds, which stars Anna Taylor-Joy and Olivia Cooke. Both incredible, successful actresses, yet no one has watched this movie.
I have never heard of it.
Well, people need to watch it because it is a gorgeous film for many reasons. For one, it's a dark comedy.
Right.
2, it has everything of the genre I love: dark comedy, thriller, little bits of horror vibes.
Right.
It's a bit like American Psycho meets sort of like a sort of high school thing, but it's about a posh girl and and Olivia Cooke, who plays definitely an autistic character.
Right.
And she's a bit crazy in it, but what I love is the dynamic between the two.
Right.
Like, their chemistry is absolutely insane. And I love the editing, and the cinematography is out of this world.
Yeah.
And I just love the story. It's one of the most inspirational films I've ever. And in fact, Bubblegum was partly inspired by it.
Right. Okay.
So Thoroughbreds is amazing, and I loved it from day one. I just fell in love with it, and I said to my wife, "That movie is incredible," but no one's watching. I'm like, "Well, you need to watch it.
Okay.
It's so good." So yeah, definitely watch Thoroughbreds. It's just incredible. Number 3, Silence of the Lambs. We just spoke about that.
Yeah.
Number 2 is A Clockwork Orange.
You know what? Oh, this is so bad. Don't cancel me. I've never watched A Clockwork Orange.
Okay, I'll watch Traitors if you watch Clockwork Orange or
yes,
Thoroughbreds.
absolutely.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch both of those.
Amazing. Then I'll watch Traitors.
Okay,
sorted.
yeah.
Okay, we've got a deal there. But no, Clockwork Orange is an incredible film. I mean, I know back in the day it was too violent, but nowadays when people watch it, it's like a dark comedy.
Yeah.
Because there were things in it I was actually laughing at.
Yeah.
That I was like, okay, this is actually quite hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, there are. I mean, yes, it is brutal in some little bits, but I mean, it's not really violent. I mean, God, compared to like Deadpool, Clockwork Orange is like a fairy tale compared to like
Really?
Deadpool. Yeah, because
Is it more psychological, do you think?
in a way, yeah,
Clockwork
because
Orange?
you've got a character who is very bad. He's a very bad character. He goes around doing these horrible things. But what I like about it is Stanley Kubrick does sort of mess with your head, because when he gets caught out and he's been sent to prison, and then they do this experiment on him to turn from bad to good,
Right.
and he comes out, he's kind of like vulnerable now. And there are times where you do feel a little bit sorry for him.
Right.
I mean, obviously you don't condone what he's done,
No.
but there are moments where you think, okay, maybe they're going a bit too far.
Yeah.
But in a way, that's what messes with your head.
So who's the lead actors?
Malcolm McDowell is the lead actor.
Malcolm McDowell.
he's-
Oh my god, I love him.
He's incredible in them. In fact, that was the movie that sort of rose his career.
Really?
And Stanley Kubrick was like, that's my
Stanley
Alex.
Kubrick, okay.
Yeah, and Stanley done an amazing job on that movie. The costume design, the props, the locations. It's filmed in London. And I just love everything about it. There's stuff in it that I'm just like, this is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff in it that I love. The cinematography, the acting, the story, the performances, the atmosphere,
Everything.
the comedy, the darkness, everything
Yeah.
about it is like, this is my sort of film.
But that's where comedy comes from, essentially, really, though, doesn't it? It comes from a dark
Because
place.
there's a little bit which makes me laugh, and I didn't expect to have a laughing fit over this. It's such a small moment, but there's a bit where he can't defend himself. So every time he's about to punch someone, he's about to throw up. And there's a guy that watches him. And he goes, "Will you cover your mouth when you do that? It's bloody revolting." And I just started laughing because it's how he says. He's so posh. He's like, "Will you cover your mouth, please? It's bloody revolting."
I am putting that on my list for this
Absolutely,
weekend.
it's a
Yeah,
classic. I
yeah.
mean, it's incredible, and it's one of my favourite Kubrick films. But it doesn't condone to number one, which
No.
is The Shining.
Oh, you know, I watched The Shining once, but it was so long ago I don't really remember it.
Ah,
But I mean,
amazing film.
well, Jack Nicholson
Oh,
is
yeah.
just
Do you know a fun fact?
fantastic.
Steven Spielberg, who was friends with Kubrick,
Mm.
didn't like The Shining when he first watched it because he thought Jack Nicholson went a bit over the top. So Kubrick was going, so you didn't like my picture very much, and Spielberg was like, I think Jack Nicholson was a bit da-da. So he said, okay, quickly without thinking, I want you to name some actors, and don't just name off some names. So Steven Spielberg was listed as some of his favourite actors. So Stanley Kubrick went, right, stop. So where was James Cagney on that list? And Steven's like, well, his name's up there. He said, yeah, but he's not in the top 5. You don't consider James Cagney as one of the top 5 best actors. You see, I do. That's why Jack Nicholson's performance is a great one.
right.
So then after that, Spielberg then in the end was like, actually, no, it is a good film. I mean, to be fair, with Kubrick, when I first watched Eyes Wide Shut, for
Yeah.
instance,
Yeah.
I hated it.
Right.
First watched it, I thought this movie is absolutely awful. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I loved
So,
it.
well, when I first watched, I was like, no, don't like this movie. But then this is what intrigued me. It came on the telly again a couple of months later, but I wanted to watch it again. I mean, like, even though I hate it, I was like, I want to watch it again for some reason. But it drew me, so I put it on again. And I enjoyed it the second time more than I did the first time. I thought, actually, it wasn't that bad.
Eyes Wide
And
Shut.
then-
That was with
Tom Cruise and
Tom
Nicole
Cruise
Kidman.
and Nicole Kidman,
And that was
yes,
Stanley
I remember
Kubrick's
it, yeah,
last
yeah.
film.
Okay.
Because he died literally 4 days after he premiered
No way.
the screening to Warner Brothers, yeah.
You really know your stuff, don't you?
I do. I'm sorry, guys, but it's...
You're a proper boffin. I
This
love
is
it.
a Manigan movie thing, you
I
know.
love it. I love it. I'm learning so much.
Well, that to be fair, people do on the show. They get educated.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he screened the film to a private Warner Brothers screening, and Tom and Nicole saw it, and then it didn't premiere till July afterwards. But yeah, when I first watched it, I didn't like Eyes Wide Shut because I just didn't know what was going on.
Right.
But then when I watched it again, I liked it a bit more. Then I watched it a third time, and instead I was like, actually, do you know what? This isn't bad.
Yeah.
So I brought the DVD, and what I was doing, I analysed it.
Right.
So I was trying to look up the theories, and I was like, oh, I see what Kubrick's trying to do here. Obviously, I can't say because it's adult themes, but
Yeah.
what I found out what he was doing and what he was trying to portray, I was like, Oh, okay. I kind of see what's going on now. Now I do like this movie because I see. And you can kind of tell from Tom and Nicole's reactions and the acting that he really did put them under pressure doing this whole thing. I mean, it was kind of a risk, really, casting a husband and wife in this sort of movie.
Oh, yeah,
because
I forgot they were married, weren't
because
they?
they were married at the time. And then coincidentally, 2 years later, they divorced after the film.
Yeah.
And there are theories that Eyes Wide Shut was the reason they split up. And all that. Yeah, there's loads of hidden theories.
I need to go back and watch that again, you know?
Absolutely. But the movie is a masterpiece. So it's not in my top favourite films, but it is a good movie. But no, Clockwork Orange and The Shining are my favourite Kubrick films. And those two are my top two. And like I said, Silence of the Lambs is 3 and Thoroughbreds. And yeah, those are my big top favourite movies.
But
although
do you also like, so obviously the movies that you've chosen, they're of a certain calibre, right? Sometimes I want to watch a movie and I don't want to have to think, you know? So like, you know, do you have any like fun comedy stuff that you like watching?
Yeah, Ace Ventura.
Oh,
I grew up with that. And you know, Jim Carrey's Liar Liar.
Yeah.
I grew up with those movies.
Yeah.
I grew up, and Robin Williams, I watched Flubber.
Right.
And Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh my goodness,
you know,
Robin Williams.
Yeah. I mean, God, those movies were my childhood.
I mean, talk about amazing movies. Dead Poets Society. With both Matt Damon. Was Ben Affleck in that as well?
Yeah, I think them two were.
I love that duo together.
Yeah,
like,
Good Will Hunting and.
Yes, they were also. Yes.
Yeah,
that's right.
So yeah, no, I do like the comedy. Like comedy, definitely. I mean, there's also The Hangover as well. Although the first one definitely.
I love anything with Melissa McCarthy in it. Yeah, honestly,
she is good.
And Rebel Wilson, I think they're just hilarious.
I think Melissa McCarthy's better though, because as an actress, she can. Yeah, she does comedy, but when she does different stuff, she can do different stuff. Because there are times where I've watched her in other things and she sort of plays the same character. This sort of mouthy, oh, don't mess with me kind of girl. And I think, oh, she's playing the same character. But when she does other things, she's actually really, really good. Like, I did like her in Little Mermaid as Ursula. She did a drama once with.
She played quite a dark character in something as well, though, didn't she?
She has done quite
serious.
a few. Yeah, she can do. Yeah, so when she does other roles, I think, wow, she can be really good.
Yeah.
But sometimes in a comedy, she is funny. Yeah. But sometimes I'm like, didn't she play this character in another film? Yeah. And it's sort of the same. You know, it's like Ben Stiller. He plays the same character. Yeah. Because have you noticed when he has a run? He does this. He's like, oh, you little, and your little. He does the same run. And I'm thinking, he done this run in Meet the Parents. He done that run in Madagascar.
You know, think people get typecasted.
They do,
and that's what.
But sometimes, to be fair, those comedians do write the script themselves.
Do they?
I mean, Ben Stiller is a director as well, so sometimes I think he does write that for himself, or he'll ad lib.
Well, you know what's really interesting? If you look at that era of Ben Stiller and all those people. As somebody who I really admire, who I think is amazing and has shown great depth and just versatility, is Steve Carell.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
Oh, Steve Carell can be different.
I've seen him play dark, serious characters, and then he plays the comedy characters. Yeah. He's brilliant.
I love him.
Oh, I'd love to work with him.
I loved him in Anchorman. Loud noises!
That's another.
I don't know why we're yelling.
I don't know why you're yelling. I love Lamp.
Yeah. And in the second one, apparently he drowned because he tried to save a seagull from drowning. Okay, right. I think let's take a breather. Let's play a track to process.
Yes.
But this has been absolutely great. Yeah. Love this conversation. But we'll definitely talk more very soon. But let's play a really epic track from one of my favourite Disney films. This is another underrated one. This is from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. That was Avatar War. Great epic soundtrack from, of course, the late, great James Horner. And you're now listening to Manigan's Movie Music, the second part of the show, guys. So if you've just tuned in, welcome to part 2. But if you've missed part 1, how dare you? But it's fine, because we've had such a laugh and the film is being recorded. So if you have missed the first part of the show, you can catch it on my YouTube channel one day soon. But I'm here today with the incredible Ash Bibi.
Thank you.
Honestly, it's wonderful to have you on the show. It's been such a laugh today. I knew it was going to be. Yeah. I knew from the moment where you was going to come on the show, I was like, today is going to be a right laugh.
I feel like you're my naughty little brother.
The cheeky brother.
Yeah, you're definitely cheeky. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, I get that a lot. Anyway, but it's wonderful to have you on the show. It's been a right laugh today, and we still got more to go because I need to bring up some of the movie news now. This is what I do for the second part of the show. There's a lot of stuff. Speaking about Spider-Man, there's so much stuff about Spider-Man in the new film, but I can't go through all this because, to be honest, this is what annoys me. They say, oh, we need to keep things covered, but there's so many headlines about it. I don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to mention anything about the new Spider-Man film because I'd rather wait until the film comes out and then I can have my opinions because there's all these headlines of, oh, this is going to happen. Stop spoiling the film. Yeah. Shut up. We haven't seen it yet. Oh, jeez. Okay, right, but I can say for one of the films that I'm not too bothered about, apparently, if you're into the Minions, because there's going to be a new Minions movie coming out, yes, they're everywhere. It's called Minions and Monsters, and apparently it says there's a 15-minute section spoken entirely in Minionese.
Oh.
So the Minionese is what the Minions speak. It's their language.
Is it going to be subtitled?
I have no idea. I mean, I think the Minions, you don't really need to know what they're saying. They just kind of do what they do anyway.
Oh, okay.
But as far as I know, apparently 15 minutes of the film is apparently spoken in Minionese. So for those who don't speak Minionese, learn it because you're not going to know what they're going to say. Or if it is subtitled, I don't know. But yeah, there is going to be another Minions movie. And the thing is, I didn't even watch the second one because the first movie wasn't very good in my opinion. Right. I mean, I liked them in the Despicable Me films.
Right.
But has their own film, I don't know, it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Yeah, well, don't waste your time because, to be honest, it wasn't that great. And it just had a very simple plot. But it was a prequel because it was about how they evolutioned and they're called the Minions, so their mission in life is to have a boss, but it has to be an evil boss.
Right. Okay.
So their mission is, we find an evil boss, that's who we serve, and that's the story. But they end up meeting Sandra Bullock's character, who wants to take over the world, and it's just so simple.
Oh, I love Sandra Bullock though.
Yeah, I mean she's good in it, but the story's not good. It's not worth the story. I mean, look, I understand it's a cartoon, kids will love it and whatever, but as an adult, you're going to get bored. And when I watched it, I was actually really, really bored.
Right, okay.
It just didn't get to me. So I prefer them as, in the film Despicable Me, because it works as their sidekicks.
Right.
And when they have their little gags, it works. But when you've got an entire film,
just based on
it's kind of like, did they really need their own film? You know? Yeah. I mean, I kind of had the same thing about Cars 2. That was the big mistake, to make Mita the lead character in Cars 2, because as a side character, he was funny, but when there was a movie dedicated to him, he was actually really annoying.
Right.
And I actually didn't like how he was talking. Also, I was like, oh my God, this character just doesn't shut up.
Well, it's interesting,
it goes on and on and on.
Because they're trying to make a spin-off, right?
Yeah.
If you look classically at some amazing TV shows, and you're probably too young for this, but Cheers, right? So then you had the spin-off, which was Frasier.
I love Frasier.
And Frasier was that was brilliant.
It was good. Yeah, Frasier worked.
I feel like, was it better than Cheers?
It was.
You know?
I did. I loved Frasier. Frasier, because my brother used to watch it all the time, so I ended up watching it.
The casting was
amazing. Kelsey Grammer and David Hyde Pierce are absolute legends. I mean, they work together so well. But do you know what made me laugh with them? I always thought they were British because of the way they talk.
Right.
Because they were so, the way they were so well spoken. I said, are they American or British? But they are American. Yeah. But I was like, but they can play British really well because they're so well spoken.
We're talking about slapstick comedy earlier, right?
Yeah.
Have you noticed when you watch Frasier again, pay attention to this, always at the end of the show, they always have like a 10-15 second clip, and it always gives me that kind of Laurel and Hardy, Norman Wisdom kind of vibe. It's very slapstick, physical comedy without any words, and it's always David Hyde Pierce, and I think he's even better than Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah, I think they're both as good as each other. I mean, but Kelsey Grammer, though, I mean, I did grow up with him, not because of Frasier, but I did watch, obviously he was in The Simpsons, Sideshow Bob, and also...
Was that him?
It is him. And also, in the earlier episodes, any excuse to get him to sing. That's what they always did. They always got an excuse to make him sing. Because he's a wonderful singer. Like, I mean, he was also in Anastasia. He was in his spin-off Bartok. He played the bear, the very poetic, overdramatic bear, and he sings in that as well. You know, he's an incredible actor and voice actor. Like, he did so many good stuff back in the day, and he was everywhere. And I did sort of grow up with his work. You know, and you know, Bartok is a very rare animated film because it was a spin-off from Anastasia. It was about the little white bat, and. But I grew up with that, and he was the bear. He was Zozie the bear, who was this actor, and very dramatic, and to forgive, and all that, you know. And I loved him. I just loved him so much. He just did so, and so. You know, when I see Kelsey Grammer, I just want to watch that again. You know, so that was my childhood.
I think I'm gonna have to watch that now that I know that. Because it's when you know who the actor is, I think it kind of changes it. Doesn't it?
Oh yeah, when he was Sacha Bob, he was fantastic as Sacha Bob. But obviously, I mean, I don't really watch The Simpsons. I gave it up back in like maybe 2005 because after I think up to maybe season 16, so I stopped because I've heard it's got worse and worse anyway. Plus the voice. Like, I saw a recent clip of a new season, and honestly. Marge sounds like she's got a sore throat. Bart has definitely hit puberty all the way. Like, he sounds like a proper full-grown adult now. He doesn't sound like a 10-year-old kid. Lisa, I think Lisa's the only one who sounds the same. But everybody else, even Mr. Burns, he sounds like he's dying.
Right.
Like, the voice actors cannot do it anymore. I watched and I went, please tell me that's not them now.
Maybe it's time to give somebody new a chance.
Yeah, I mean, there was a thing about that. Would they ever recast the voice? And the creator said no. They will stop as soon as all the actors have passed away. Right. That's what they said. Oh, they said as soon as the actors are gone, they will stop. But the thing is, right, The Simpsons has definitely run its course a long time ago. It's not funny.
So. No.
It doesn't work with today's modern society because. I've heard, like, there's many YouTube videos that say top 10 worst episodes. It's all the recent ones.
Right.
I mean, apparently the most worst episode that was voted was when Lady Gaga guest starred. Really? And apparently that's a recent episode. Wow. I was like, wow, okay. But then Lady Gaga can't act anyway, so there you go. But there you go. But anyway, that's what I mean. So I'm so glad I don't watch it anymore. Right. I'm so glad I don't watch it. I always stick to the old seasons, from seasons 1 to maybe 14. Yeah. Because those were the ones I grew up with, and they're still laughable.
Yeah, and they're very funny.
Yeah. But as it went on, it just got stale, and I was like, nah, it's not going well, and I mean the animation looks better now. Yeah. But it doesn't.
Sometimes you've got to know when to quit, though. Don't you?
Definitely. I mean, The Simpsons definitely needed to quit. Family Guy definitely needed to quit. But to be fair, at least it still keeps some of the offensive jokes, you know. So I can't vouch for that. But then again, Seth MacFarlane, he's doing the new Ted series. He done that, and that done well.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that was beautiful. And so at least he's still coming out with some really juicy stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you just know when things have got to stop. But anyway,
and
that's
all that from the Minions.
Yeah, I mean the Minions as well. They got to stop making the new Minions movies because they weren't. I mean. I didn't even watch the second one, but some people said, yeah, it was all right. But I'm like, but then, you know, it's just because they want to make the money, you know. Yeah. That's what it's all about. But hey, look, if it makes you money, go for it. But I'm not going to waste my money.
You need to earn the money to then make the art.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah, exactly. But then I can see Illumination going, right, we're losing a bit of money. What should we make? Minions, they always make the money.
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump back to another bit of movie news. This is what I really cannot wait to talk about. So Obsession and Backrooms, which are two horror films which are independently made, have apparently reigned the box office, and they're beating Disney's latest Star Wars films and everything, and I just love that because Obsession was a film made by a YouTuber, Backrooms is another film made by a YouTuber, but that was made with A24, and they are making gold. I haven't seen Backrooms yet, but I'm seeing it on Sunday and I cannot wait. It's one of my most anticipated films of the year. Obsession, though, I have watched. And I love that movie, and it deserves to make the money because it is such a good horror. The only thing that annoys me, right, is now the media are going, oh, that YouTuber's aged 20 and he's made his first directorial debut. Good for him. But do we need to be so ageist about it? Do we have to really say pick and choose? Look, you look at Ricky Gervais. He was 40 when he became famous. No one went up to him and said, oh, you're 40. Well done for you. Alan Rickman was 42 when he was famous. Did anyone care about that? No. So look, I don't care how old you are. You could be 5 years old and make your own first film. Yeah. Well done. But I don't care how old you are. Yeah. I was 22.
Yeah.
When I made my very first feature on YouTube, did
Yeah.
I go, hey, guess what? I'm 22. Ha. No, I don't care.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, let's have a bit of respect. You know what I mean? Because look, well done for these YouTubers making these movies. Good, you're in your 20s, well done. But I don't care how old you are. You made a movie,
Yeah.
They could have been 60,
Right.
and I still would have said well done.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But I just find it a bit disrespectful.
No,
you know?
and I
Because
think-
there are people out there, sorry, I'm just going to correct my point really quickly. Because there are people out there who are desperately trying to make these projects, and they've had to wait years and years and years to make their film, and then they may not make their film until they're 45,
Yeah.
and they'll say 20 years it's taken me, and then they might get hurt when so yeah, well I was 20 when I made my film, I'm younger than you. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? Don't brag about it. You're 20, fair enough. You're 35, fair enough. But show a bit of respect, guys. Age is a number. But it doesn't matter how old you are. I mean, I could be 50 when I made my first
Yeah.
budget film.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say, look, so what if I was 50? At least I made a movie. Doesn't matter.
No.
That's all I'm saying.
But that's what I was going to ask you actually, because are they saying this because he's young? And also, is it a really good movie, or was it actually just luck that, because
Yeah.
you know how sometimes algorithms work, like,
Yeah.
so now it's in the
Yeah.
in the theatres. Was it just kind of luck?
Obsession
Or-
is a good film.
Right.
And Curry Barker, I always said Baker then, Curry Barker is a really good filmmaker. And, I definitely praise him. He didn't brag about his age. He just said, look, I had this idea, I wanted to make it, and I didn't expect it to go as far as it did. Well done for him.
Good for him.
But Backrooms Kane, he's now been known as the world's youngest filmmaker. And he's literally kind of lapping it up a little bit. And it's like, look, all right, we get it. You're 20, good. But mate, you need to calm down that ego.
Yeah.
Because I'm not being funny. If I was a film producer and I met this guy and he was like, I'd think, do you know what? I'd rather work with 70-year-old Steven Spielberg than work with you. Because if you're going to have that ego, I can't work with people like that.
No.
I'm sorry. Look, it's not, I'm not saying it's wrong to brag about your stuff. Fair enough. But there is a limit. And I've seen a bit of an interview. There was an interview where he was kind of like, yeah, and I looked at him and was like, that's a little bit arrogant. I mean, come on, just show a little bit of respect.
Yeah.
Yeah? It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter how old you are. You made a film, you made a film. But when I released my first feature, when I was 22, and someone went, oh my God, you've just made, I went, yeah. I went, it's okay. But they were like, yeah, but you've done it. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not going to over sugarcoat it.
Right.
It's fine. I've done it. And now I want to move on.
Right.
That's the person I am.
Right, yeah.
Because I'm not that type of person. I don't
Yeah.
click my fingers and go, yeah, I've done it before you.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not in competition with anybody. But this Kane guy was kind of like, yeah, I've kind of made it now. So,
So, but the thing is, that really remains to be seen, though, doesn't it? Because let's see what you're only as good as your last
Exactly,
project,
yeah.
right? So let's see what happens.
Yeah, because just because you made a good first film doesn't mean your second film's going to happen.
But also, does that mean now you're going to be given this kind of privilege?
Yeah.
Where, you get to have a bigger budget and you get
Yeah.
to, you know what I'm saying?
But
So
yeah, 'cause
there's lots of
sometimes,
people who make films for so many years, who
Yeah.
struggle, and who don't get to have that privilege
Yeah.
of being out there
Yeah.
making it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And you never know. He might have a bigger budget film and it might flop the next one. You don't know. So I'm just saying, just be careful, guys. That's all I'm saying. Just show a bit of respect. That's all I'm saying. Because I can't stand filmmakers because I've met so many filmmakers that are so up their own backside that are like, yeah, I've done, and I'm like, okay, good for you, but you don't have to shove it in my face. You know what I mean? I don't like, that's what they do. When they shove it in your face, that's what I can't stand. And I think, yeah, do you know what? I'm going to keep away from you. But if I meet a filmmaker who's so into their craft but doesn't shove it in your... They're just like, look, if you want to watch it, you can watch it. If you want to check out. I'll go, do you know what? Because you've been so down to earth about it, I will check it out.
Yeah.
If I get someone going, watch my movie and like and subscribe, I'm like, do I have to? Is there a law? You know what I mean? I just don't like that. That's why I'm like, look, if you want to check out my YouTube channel, you check out. You don't have to, but the option's there. I'm not going to shove it in your face. Because I'm not that sort of person.
Right.
I'm just like, look, yes, I've done this, I've done that, but if you want to check it out, check it out.
Right.
Because I think that's respectful. If I'm like, you have to check out my work, it's so good, I'm like, whoa, okay. Because there are times where I've met some filmmakers that have done that, and I've watched their work. And I remember this one guy, I went to a premiere once, this guy was so up his own backside, you need to check out my movie. I went, okay. And he was like, and he literally said, it's the best thing ever. Like that.
Okay,
and I went,
that's
okay.
quite
So I did check out his film. It was awful. It was all. No, I'm not saying because I'm being horrible. I'm not joking. It was bad. The audio quality was bad. The editing was awful. There were scenes that were glitched. And he was making out like it was this masterpiece. But honestly, there were times where it was like he was swapping on a mobile phone camera, where it was grainy and it was, and the editing was awful. And I remember there were a few mistakes. I kept rewinding, going, right, that's a mistake. Oh, and you could see there were bits that were cut out, like when it cut and stuff. And I remember he actually contacted me a couple of days. I was like, "Did you watch it?" I went, "Yeah." He went, "What do you think?" I went, "It's okay." And he never replied to me ever again. Because I just put. But he did kind of push me and go, "Can you go on my IMDb and can you rate it for me? Do you give me 5 stars?" I went, "No." He went, "Why?" I said, "Because I don't want to rate it."
Yeah.
And then he never spoke to me again.
Right.
Yeah, and I thought, fine. See, that's what I mean. I can't stand people like that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry. Look, if you're happy with your work, I'm glad. But I'm happy with my work. But I don't thought. No, it's like with scripting. Scripting was a huge successful film for me. But I've never once shoved in someone's face going, "You should watch that because I got nominated for that."
Yeah.
Like, it's like when I get Facebook requests, they send me these massive messages. "You check out my film, I got nominated, and I even met so and so." Good for you, but stop shoving it in my face. Yeah. That's all I'm asking. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know, that's just my point of view. But hey, look, if you love those sort of people, then go for it. But careful. Right. Okay. Another thing I need to talk about. So I was talking about trailers earlier. They've released a teaser trailer for Fall 2, which was a horror / thrillery adventure kind of film about 2 women who got stuck on a big tower in the middle of the desert. And now they're doing a sequel with different characters. But this one I think is about them climbing up a mountain and the bridge is broken and now they're stuck 5,000 feet on a mountain. Right. Now, the problem with Fall was, it was a good movie, but it felt more like a TV movie rather than a film you'd go in the cinema.
Right.
Like, I did check out in the cinema, but it felt more like a TV movie. I was kind of like, you know what, that should have been gone straight to Netflix film. Yeah. Because, there was some good moments, but it was so predictable. I'm not going to say what happens, but when you watch it, you'll go, oh, yeah, I kind of saw that coming. We all saw that coming.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm really worried about the Fall 2 for these reasons. Okay, it's in a different location, it's a different trap, whatever, but I think it's going to be a repeat of the first film.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same twist, the same storyline, whatever. I don't know if it's going to be a masterpiece film. Will I go see it in the cinema? I don't know, because to be fair, from the teaser trailer, it did look a bit more better quality than the first film. Plus, it's on a mountain. There's some really good shots. Although some of them might have been special effects. I don't know nowadays. But all I can say is I might do. But there is a teaser trailer, and it did look interesting. But I don't know. Will I go cinema and see it? It's 50-50. But let's find out. And also, guys, I need to go back to the Ice Age trailer because it did make me laugh. Because, yes, they parodied the movie Jackass.
Did they?
Because if you remember Jackass, the first film, they run through the smoke and they're getting hit by balls and bricks and whatever. So you've got Scrat. There's an acorn coming out of this volcano, Ash. You've got Scrat coming out, going after the acorn, as he does. The Scrat stuff. And then you've got, all of a sudden, you've got Diego and Sid and Manny, Ellie and Buck and Crash and Eddie all come out. Now, this is what I'm kind of interested in. Normally when there's an Ice Age film coming out, they just use Scrat as the marketing.
Right.
And because Scrat is obviously the most popular character in the franchise. Right. But they didn't do that this time. Scrat was literally in the trailer for like a few seconds, and then you've got Manny and Ellie and Buck and Crash and Eddie and Sid and Diego, and they're coming out of the smoke, and then they get hit by these ice cubes. Sid swallows a bee, his bum goes straight to Diego's face, which is a bit too much, but whatever. And then you got fireballs going through Ellie's hair, Buck's cooking a bug with the fire, then you got Crash and Eddie getting hit by some weird items, literally in a very productive place. Let's just say Scrat's not the one who loses his nuts. And then they all go through, and then you got a little cameo of Scrat's son coming through the smoke, and you're like, oh, Scrat's son's going to be in it, okay. But it kind of won me over a little bit for these reasons, because I'm hoping this is kind of them to say, look, they're coming back with a bang, literally, And I'm hoping that this is a reformed film of the fifth movie. Now look, I love the Ice Age movies, especially the first four. I grew up with those films. I loved the first one. I love the second one. The third one is my favourite. The fourth one is a guilty pleasure film because, yeah, it's not great, but it's still enjoyable. But the fifth one was a joke for many reasons. You can tell they were running out of ideas. The whole Scrat spaceship thing was ridiculously out of place. I mean, if it was a short film about Scrat, that would have worked. I wouldn't care if he found a spaceship. But as part of the final film, it didn't work, you know. I mean, why is there a spaceship in the Ice Age? Really, with the technologies, it just doesn't work.
Right.
You can't mix prehistoric animals with technology. It doesn't work. Also, the whole plot of we need to stop this asteroid coming to Earth, and then there's this asteroid where all the animals can be young again. It was too fantasy-ish. There were these animals that they made, because obviously they're running out of prehistoric animals, so they just sort of made up their own animals as they were doing it. It just didn't work. Plus the villains in the film were these dinosaur birds with this ridiculous plot, and also Buck coming back I was excited for, but they made his character really unlikable.
Right.
They just made him crazy for the sake of being crazy.
Right, yeah.
It was like Daffy Duck on crack.
Okay,
Yeah.
that seems a bit odd.
Yeah, and the humour in it was very bad. It was very aimed towards children. They weren't like with the other Ice Age films. At least there was adults for jokes, like adult jokes. Like in the third film, there is loads of adult jokes they got away with. Like I remember my dad took me to see that film. I was 17 at the time. And there were some jokes that even I didn't get that he was laughing at. And afterwards I was thinking, what's that? And I had to rethink. I was like, oh, I get it now. Oh my God, they got away with that. Like, it was clever. But with Ice Age 5, it was all kiddie jokes. And I was kind of sitting there like, is there any jokes for us? Any little... No, there wasn't. It was really bad. Yeah, it was atrocious. I was really, really upset because I love the first four. But the fifth one was literally a crash, literally. So I'm hoping with the new film that Disney will look back at that and go, right, what were the mistakes with the last one? Right, we can't have any of this. We can't have any of that. Because they need to keep it in the time. Do you know what I mean? So, for example, it's set in the prehistoric times. So we don't need Facebook jokes, hashtag jokes, you know, social media jokes, or them saying, oh, this is sick.
Well,
and stuff like that.
Are they trying to just make it relevant? Are they trying to...
Yeah, but it doesn't work in the time they're in. Like, when you watch the first Ice Age and the second and third, yes, there are cultural references, but it sticks as a gag. It's not... It's not trying to be modern. Do you know what I mean? It sticks. It's like Shrek, for instance. You watch the first Shrek films, yes, there are cultural reference jokes, but it works because they joke it in their time. You don't see Shrek with a mobile phone or saying hashtag this. It doesn't work. Yes, there are jokes for the modern era, but it works in their time. It's like Toy Story. Yes, there are also cultural references, but it works in their time. There's no, you know, them trying to be all hip and all this stuff. It's in fact, what I love about Toy Story is they actually take the jokes about them being hip, because they're vintage toys, aren't they? So when they do see a new modernised toy, they do sort of take the mick, and it works because they kind of go, look, we don't care about you modernised people. We're sticking to our group, you know. It works, but Ice Age didn't work. With the fifth film, there was like I said, there was hashtag jokes, there was mobile phone jokes, social media jokes. Oh, I need insurance jokes. Like, they don't know what insurance is. These are animals. It doesn't. That's what I say. So it doesn't work. You can't have a mammoth say, "Oh, we need insurance." They don't know what insurance is. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't work. And then you can't laugh at that because you're going, hang on, did a mammoth just say the word insurance? Why did he say the word? That doesn't work.
I think I need to go back and watch the first one because it was so long
ago. The first one is a classic.
Just so that in my mind I could be like, oh okay.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. So like the first three Ice Ages work. The third one in particular is my favourite because I love the sequences, like with the dinosaurs and the 3D in it, and Buck, played by Simon Pegg, was gold. Because he was like a mix of Captain Jack Sparrow and Indiana Jones.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I love Simon Pegg. Okay, now I'm going to go, now that I know that, I'm going to go and watch all three. Like,
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll just go straight to number 3.
Yeah, I mean, he played Buck the Weasel, and he done such a great job in that, and he was such a fresh new character. But they brought him back for the 5th one, and he was just being crazy for the sake of being crazy.
Right.
It was like, he's a crazy character. He's got an excuse to make a joke, but again, it didn't work. And
Does it feel like lazy writing, do you think?
It felt like a one draft script.
Right.
It's like, as I said, they ran out of ideas, so they went, oh, what if, okay, we have an asteroid coming towards Earth. What if Scrat causes that? But how's he going to do it? Oh, we had a spaceship gag in the first one. What if he encounters that spaceship? And it's like, really?
Okay.
I mean, I'm sorry, but if I was part of that team and they pitched that to me, I would have been going, guys, spaceships in the Ice Age, does that work? That's what I mean. It didn't work.
Right.
It just felt like a mix of
clutching at straws.
Literally, yeah. They literally were like, okay, we're going to give this a go. Let's see what. But luckily, the film did flop.
Right.
It didn't make as much money as the other Ice Age films. People did hate the film. It's only got like 10% on Rotten Tomatoes because they were saying, guys, this has gone too far now. You've got to stop.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, the teaser trailer did win me over because luckily there was no spaceships, there was no aliens, there was no mobile phone gags or, oh, look at us, we're doing Jackass. Or like that. It stuck to its time.
Right.
I thought, okay, that's won me over a bit. Plus the animation looked gorgeous. So all I'm going to say is, if the other trailer comes out and there's no, pop cultural references or anything like that, and it sticks to its time, then I'll reconsider going to see it. So all I'm saying is, Disney, please make sure you looked at the mistakes and gone, right, we need to get back to the proper Ice Age.
We need this rectified.
Yeah,
Disney.
because luckily in the teaser trailer, like for example, ice cubes, bumblebees, flames and stuff. Yes, good. There was no trucks or, flying discs hitting them or TV sets.
Right.
I was like, okay, good. They're using objects that work in this time. Good. Well done.
Right.
Well done.
Right.
So it's won me over. Do you know what I mean? Look, I know you're probably thinking, my God, he's so OCD with this, but this is just how I feel. Because I think there are too many idiots nowadays in the industry who just want to go, right, we'll just do that. They don't have time to think about the story or its audience.
It's really just about making money for them.
Yeah, exactly. But they need to think about the audience. And now I'm hoping the consequence is they've looked at that last Ice Age film, gone, right, we flopped, we didn't make money. What do you think the mistakes were? You put Scrat in a spaceship. Come on. You joked about hashtags. Come on. Stop it now. It's a sloth. You can't have a sloth joke about hashtags.
Right.
Does a sloth know anything about hashtags?
Right.
No. Does a saber-tooth know anything about, I don't know, wedding insurance?
Do you think that maybe the heads of Disney look at comments? Do you think?
I think they do,
Do you
because
think people do that?
because what I do like about it's like with Zootopia. With Zootopia, they did a really good film there about prejudice and racism in animal form and discrimination. That's why I love that movie, because I relate to Nick the Fox, by the way. Not because I'm a con artist. Shh, no, I'm joking. No, because I relate to him because he got discriminated when he was a kid.
Right.
Because he's a predator. Oh, we don't want them in our group. It's like me. Oh, you're autistic. Oh, yeah, we don't want those sort of people in our group. Yeah. So I relate to him.
Yeah.
And now he's grown up going, I'm not letting anyone get to me. That's what I'm like now. So, and I basically say, look, you're welcome to meet me and talk to me, but you cross the line, you're out my life. And that's what Nick Wilde's like. That's why he always kept to himself.
Right.
And that's why I relate to him. So they done that, and then what they done is they had the sequel coming 9 years later. But what I love is they did say, right, we've done our homework, we know what the audience want, we're going to do more of this, we're going to do, and they really did.
I love it when shows and movies, I love it when they actually listen to their customers,
exactly,
to their viewers,
and it's like Inside Out 2, they did that as well.
Right.
They obviously had the anxiety motion, and they were like, okay, we know that everyone suffers with anxiety, so this is going to be relatable, but we want to know if this is going to work.
Right.
And the audience went, no, that will work. And because I remember when they did the teaser trailer for Inside Out 2, everyone went viral for the anxiety character. They went, yes, this is going to work. And it did.
Yeah.
So they did listen, and it did. And they did a really good job on it. But Zootopia 2 is a much better sequel, in my opinion.
Even with Traitors, actually, I know that the producers, because I look at the comments and everyone's always like, oh, why can't the Traitors be secret? I'm like, because then that's not The Traitors, is it? So actually, so in the last season, obviously you haven't seen it,
It's
so
fine,
you don't know,
it's fine.
but I think your listeners will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But they introduced a secret traitor where nobody knew. The viewers didn't know, the people in the show didn't know. And, you know, it's like, okay, we're listening to you, we're going to give you a little bit of what you want, but also this is not the show, okay, guys? Bye.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, right, so that's my point of view. I think I've just given out
Love it.
on the theories. Look, you guys don't have to agree with me, but we all have different opinions
Yeah.
on stuff. I do this every week, right? Every time I do have, like, say, it's like with Toy Story 5. Did we really need a Toy Story 5? Well, let's see where the story goes.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've mentioned this many times. I'm not going to talk about Toy Story because I do talk about it a lot.
Do you? Are
yeah.
you a bit obsessed with Toy Story?
I do love Toy Story.
Do you?
I do,
Okay.
because I love the first three. The third one, again, is my favourite.
Right, okay.
Because I loved how they ended it.
Okay.
Then the fourth one was coming, and I was like, okay, do we really need this? But
Okay.
it was okay, and I did like it. I thought, okay, from the skin of its teeth, it got through my good books.
Okay.
But now this fifth one's come in.
Okay.
I'm like, so I cried for 3 and 4 over nothing.
Oh, did you?
Well, yeah, because Toy Story 3 I thought was the ending.
All right.
I mean, I was 18 at the time, and I was sobbing my heart because I went, that's my childhood ended.
Oh.
Toy Story 3 is now the end of my childhood. 18, I've now reached the final Toy Story. And then Toy Story 4 comes out, oh, for goodness sake, so I've got to cry again. And then, and I did cry at Toy Story 4 because it was Woody's story ending.
Right.
And I was like, okay, now they can leave it there. Now a fifth one, so I was like, why did I cry again? For goodness sake. Look, I mean, am I going to cry at Toy Story 5 and then go, no, do you know what? 6 is going to come out in a couple of years' time.
But do you think when you were 17 and you watched that first Toy Story or the second one, do you think now as an adult when you go back and watch it, you see it with completely different eyes? Or does it still make you feel the same way?
I mean, it's very nostalgic for me. The first 3 are very nostalgic for me. I mean, especially the first 2 actually. But the third one came out, so when you think about it, I was 3 when the first Toy Story came out. The second one I was hang on, 1999. I was 7.
All right.
So yeah, 18. I was between 2010, and no, but I love Toy Story 3 the most because it has a great villain.
Right.
Lots so. It has more mature themes in it as well.
Okay.
It's very darker because you've got a villain who you kind of feel a little bit sorry for, but at the same time, he turns into evil because he's like, right, he's in denial. He's like, right, she's replaced us. That's it now. I'm now taking over this place, and now I'm in charge. And it feels like the power is trying to make him feel better. Because you had some good villains in the first 2, but Lotso was a villain that definitely relates to people today. Right. People taking over for power.
Do you think they have like the villain origin stories in there? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, for
the third one.
So yeah, because in Lotso you find out his backstory. Because
right,
he was he had a happy home, and then he got lost, and he went back home, and then he sees the little girl with another bear.
Right.
But in his mind, because there was a clown and a baby doll with him, so in his mind, he knew she replaced him, but he went, no, she's replaced all of us. She's a traitor. We're leaving. Right. So in his mind, it was us. Right. She replaced all of us. He was in denial, and then obviously he snapped, went to Sunnyside, and took over as this head toy for power.
Right.
And it is relatable today because, as I said, we've had some very dangerous people that have taken over the power. A certain someone who's in prison, as you know, for power. So when you see that, it's like, wow, that's relatable because there are dark people out there who take over the power, and then they do these dark things to other people. Because obviously he suffered, so he's making others suffer to make him feel better.
Right.
Yeah. So he thinks, everyone's a traitor, we're toys and we're garbage, and you toys need to understand that. That's the law. Like, it's like, what? And you watch it, you're like, wow.
I can see you really love Toy Story, Reese.
I'm just, like I said, I analyse movies a lot.
Yeah.
And it's my passion.
And also, like, that's what I love, though. This is what I realised about you. But that's how your brain works, like... You pick up on things that I wouldn't necessarily pick up on, or your
I have a very strong POV.
Yeah.
I have a very strong POV.
Yeah. But that's what makes you a brilliant filmmaker, I think.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm up there just yet, but we'll see.
Well, that's how you get there, right?
At least, lately, like I said, I mean, Alien Nation done really well recently. The script in film has done fantastic, and so those are my most successful projects. But The next ones I'm doing, the Broadcaster Brighton and Bubblegum, those are now my Passion Film Festival ones. And trust me, I'm coming out with another bit of, coming out with a bang, literally. Because these ones are going to be, they're not going to be involved with Eddie, because the recent ones were about Eddie, the autistic character. Now I'm going to move on from that, and I'm going to jump straight into these new stories, very fresh takes.
Right, okay.
And very fresh new characters. Plus, they're definitely a lot more comedy.
Right.
Because I feel like with Script and A Nation, they were a bit too serious.
Right.
But to be fair, it was good to do a different turn, because with scripting, I made everybody cry, which I was so happy about, because it had to, you know, but at least it showed, because I remember when I screened it, I remember my friends were crying, and they went, "This is not like you," and I went, "That's why I didn't tell you," you know.
Yeah.
But they loved it. But I'm kind of glad now the next projects I'm doing, I'm going further out, and these
but
ones.
I love that, because then it's showing your versatility. It's, you know what I mean?
But can I just say as well, when I went to the last screening, and there was something that I do that everybody else does. I mean, I do that most people. No, I don't do that everyone else does.
Right.
So I make my short films with different locations, loads of characters, big stories set in 25 minutes long. Every film that I saw that was screened, it was one location, one or two actors. Then there's Alienation, boom, 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 boom.
Right.
And I remember I was like, yeah, mine's more different because I went full out with Alienation. I mean, I went to Southend, I went to Hampstead Heath, I went to Shoreditch, I went to loads of places to film it. Everybody was one location, two actors. There's my film coming on. And I was like, yeah, mine's very different. Mine's not in one place. And I was like, I can see that. But that's what I like. I like, because what I don't like to do is I don't like to keep things simple. I like to come up with really big stories.
Right.
And I'm a very big storyteller.
Because that's what storytelling is, though,
yeah,
right?
and with Broadcaster Brighton, I'm filming it here. I'm filming it in fact, I'm filming it in 2 weeks here in the studio.
Oh, are you?
Because yeah, and I'm filming with an actress who, she's great, I love her. I can't tell you off there what her joke is, because it's a bit too innuendo for this morning.
Yeah.
Although it's almost lunchtime.
Yeah.
I've lost my train of thought now. But anyway, no. Broadcaster Brighton's the next one, and it's also going to be filmed in Brighton.
Right.
And so yeah, I'm really going for that with this one. And so I can't wait to see what people are going to make of this one.
Amazing.
So, but I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing.
You know what? And this is what I really love, I think, also in this day and age of having mobile phones and having really good phones, is that if you remember, you're probably too young to remember, but back in the day, filmmaking was a very elite kind of career path, you know? And what I really love is that social media and phones have given creative people the chance to show their creativity without having to be this person who's connected or who's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really love that, and I want more young people. I want people to go and watch your movies and then be, you know, inspired by making their own stuff, you know, like you do your own storytelling, you know? I
love having creative control. I mean, that's why I'm a one-man show in a way, because I have no one, you know. But saying that though, I mean, you know, one day I do hope to push myself out there one day and get a crew that's responsible and good. But at the minute, I'm very happy what I'm doing right now, because at least what I'm doing is I'm not waiting. I'm not sitting there going, oh, I've got to wait for other people. I just go off and do it. You know, because when I was speaking to the actress who is going to be in Broadcaster Brighton, she's never worked with me before, but I was straight up. I said, look, this is how I do it. This is what's going to happen. If you don't like it, you're more than happy to walk away now. But she was like, no, that's actually quite inspiring. I'm going to be part of it. I went, okay, then you're in. Sorted.
I like that. I like that. I like people who are just decisive. You know what you're doing, and I think we're very similar in that way. Like, so I know that if I'm going to be making a movie, I know what my vision is, and this is how I want it to happen. Right.
Exactly. Yeah. Because the thing is, as well, it's very hard for me to pitch ideas, because I have gone to pitching events where you know, oh, if you come and pitch us, we'll fund your film. And I did pitch Bubblegum, but no one liked it.
Really?
I pitched it, but they went, well, who's this movie for? Well, I said it's actually for the LGBT community, because the two main characters are actually gay.
Right.
And I said also it's about you know, just because a man has ended up in their house and he doesn't mean he's a bad person.
No.
Also, he's got problems. I said, it's called, but they looked at me and they said, but why is it called bubblegum? I said, the sticky, and they looked and they went, yeah, we don't get that. They said, unfortunately, this doesn't work. And I was like, okay, but why don't you tell me why it doesn't work? And they went, no, we haven't got time, next. Right. And I was like, all right, so you're telling me it doesn't work, but you won't give out your feedback. Right. But then they went, oh no, we'll send in an email. Did I get an email? No. So this is what I'm saying. So it's like, I think I'm not, again, this is not me bragging, this is just a theory, but I think they loved the idea because it was too new, so they got scared, so they went, no, we don't want that.
But this is what happens.
Yeah, because there's people that, I get emails all the time from events, do you want to come pitch your film? If you do this, I do it all the time. And they're like, we're looking for original material. I have tons of original material. I could go on for hours. Shame I've got to stop in a moment. But but this is what happened. I will go to them and pitch either, I mean, not broadcast around, but let's say broadcast around weather, but they won't like it because it's too new.
Right.
So when I question them and go, okay, but you said you're looking for something original, I've got something original, why don't you like this? Can you tell me why? They do not tell me.
Right.
And it's so weird.
Right.
And then I end up having a go at them and going, well, for a company that wants to give you feedback, you're not giving much feedback, are you?
Yeah.
All I get is, oh, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But why? Why doesn't it work? Tell me and I'll remake the mistake. Right. I'll rewrite it. You know, does a character not work?
Because that's how you learn, right?
Exactly, but they won't tell me. I'm like, sometimes I want to shake them and be like, tell me what it is I do wrong. Tell me what it is, man. Please.
Oh my God.
I'm on my knees here, man. Just give me the 10 grand.
Listen, you know what? I still think there's enough time for someone to fund you for bubblegum.
Well, if it doesn't happen, I'm just going to go off and make it.
Yeah.
Well, but no, because trust me, because I've already got my cast in a way almost sorted.
Yeah.
I just need to find one more character to be cast, and I'm set. And then
Amazing.
we'll pick a schedule, and we can rock and roll.
Amazing.
So that's what's going to come up. And also, don't forget, guys, Outsmarted Season 4 is coming out later this year. Luckily, I've sorted out some scheduling and stuff because yesterday I was like, you need to be on this, and they're like, okay, we'll do it. So that's what's coming out later this year. I'm so excited to get Season 4 out. It's the final season. So if you haven't watched Outsmarted, go on my YouTube channel and binge watch the entire 3 seasons.
I'm going to do that. That's also going to be part of my watching this weekend.
Amazing. I've given you quite a lot to watch.
You have. Yeah, maybe I think I'm going to start with Outsmarted and then maybe Spider Noir.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Right, we've only got 1 minute left, so I'm just going to quickly say now, Ash, I have absolutely loved having you on the show. Can you please come back?
I will be more than happy to.
Good, because I'm going to tell you
this.
off air about my 100th episode in October.
Amazing.
I would love for you to come back and be part of that episode.
Amazing.
Because I want to bring some special guests, and I would love for you to be part of that episode.
Amazing, absolutely.
Okay, brilliant. There you go. She's going to come back 2nd of October. For my 100th episode. Because I'm going to do a celebrational show that day.
Amazing.
So I want to bring some very special guests. So you have to come back for that.
I absolutely. It's going to go right in my diary immediately.
Fantastic.
Come off air.
Right, guys. Next week, I should potentially have a guest next week. I will let you know. But yes, please come back and join me next week for more Manigan's Movie News. Today's been a great show. I've loved it. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And as I say every time, that is a wrap.